Yeah, hi G.
Hi,
Um,
hi, Jimbo.
yeah, hi.
Uh,
We're gonna do this today, and I believe we're just gonna discuss the six topics, and we're down for the meetings, and then we can do our own pages, like 4 pages papers, right?
okay, yeah, let's start
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
first
yeah,
topic.
sure. So the first one, assess the significance of creativity and creative problem solving in business. Do you want to
Uh,
start, or you want me
yeah,
to?
I can start.
Sure.
Uh, in this class and our textbook, I learned the creativity is the key to help business stay competitive and resolve the potential problem. And according to our textbook, the creativity is crucial when business need to respond to complex challenges or change their market conditions. And I have examples of the example of Lego when their traditional toy sales dropped and they got creativity by expanding into digital games and movies. And in this way, they boost their revenue significantly. And that's what I learned from the textbook and the real examples. How about you?
Yeah, thanks. It was really good for you to like give out an example, and I totally agree with you with the creativity is the driver of the innovation, and for a company to get the competitive advantages, and it is also really important to fostering a creative culture for not only uh not only for tech companies but like all the companies we can see on the market right now. All those innovations are really creativity innovations are really important, and you have to like consider all the aspects, including like culture, ethical, and other creativity things in order to make sure you continuously develop and continuously align with the modern culture and modern social norms that because people are having like different topics and having um advancement on all the like office culture, and as a company you have to continuously align with those cultures. So creativity is definitely really important, and every company, no matter how big is it, what industry is it, and what country or region is it in, you have to be creative in many ways. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, that's so.
Yeah, I can't agree. I can't agree more anymore. So yeah, because we cannot stay in the comfort zone, we need to keep
Yeah,
making
exactly.
improvement. Yeah, that's not only for the company but also for everyone. Yeah,
Yeah, actually, you just look back to the history, like no company is not changing or being creative, and any company that does not being creative, they're just like failed or passed by history. So every company we can see and we consider successful is definitely like continuously creating things. So yeah,
yeah,
I believe we discussed
yeah. Let's.
that's what I'm thinking about the first topic. Do you want to like proceed to the second one, or you have more thoughts on the first one?
Oh yeah, we can move forward to the second one.
Sure. Yeah,
The second one about the
so
changes both creative and the regional. Yeah,
yeah, but I can start with this one on this one. So, um, first of all, it is like vital that we have to find this balance between creative and rational, because only being creative it can be like can lead to some crazy decisions or um unrealistic ideas that can really damage the culture of the company, or can really damage the like employees' welfare. So we have to find this balance between creative and rational, because first of all, we want to be creative on a like a very creative level, but we have to be compliance with the regulations, with the laws, and also especially in the United States, because US is a really like a melting pot of different cultures, different race. So you have to consider rationally consider each employee and their cultural backgrounds, their educational backgrounds to make sure we ethically respect everyone. So we have to definitely find the balance of it. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah. Uh, for me, I think first thing, the creativity is important because it helps business break free from old ways, and it can help the company thinking in a new way and come up with new approach and new solutions. And for the company, they still need to have a rational planning because it's essential to make sure that these creative ideas can actually be put into action without causing too much disruption or risk. And here's a good example of IBM because IBM had to reinvent itself when they realized the selling hardware was no longer sustainable. So they use a creative way to shifting their focus from just selling computers to offering consulting and technology service. And but they couldn't say let's go do service now. They need a solid rational plan to train their employee, build new business process, and that's a good example of a mix of creativity and rationality. And yeah, also in our textbook, um, if you only the writer told us if you only have creativity without rational planning, you might end up with great ideas, but no way to actually make them happen. But on the other hand, if you only have rational plan without creativity, you will just be doing the same old thing again and again. So I think we need to keep balance between the creativity and the rationality.
Yeah, I
Uh,
totally agree with you. And it was like really nice that you can have like examples for every topic. And also, I want to add some like it's not a quote, but that reminds me some of the from the textbook that like both Palmer and Goodman Dingley has mentioned that you have to find this balance and you have to ensure that you generate innovative ideas and rigorously testing these ideas to ensure they align with the organizational goals and capabilities. And this is actually how you have to both you have to measure both imaginations and feasibilities to make sure the company can proceed to those creativity thoughts in a safe way and also a really fast upgrading way. So yeah, that's what
yeah,
I'm trying to add. And yeah, probably we can just you want to go to the second topic or the next topic?
we can move to the
Okay.
third one.
Let's proceed to the topic three, and it's determine the theories of creativity, problem solving, and thinking, and describe how these work in concert to achieve the creative problem solving process. And for me, the frameworks and the theories I have like came out of my mind. The first one is system thinking because I've learned this from another course at Westcliff, and also design thinking. And both of these frameworks are really relate and similar. That you have to separate the or degrade the big problem into small segments, into small steps, and then find out the details that lies down in those segments, and find out the interconnection between the segments and also the flow of those segments to try to find out the methods and like solutions in between. And um, take an example for system thinking. Uh, it's just you have to make sure you keep the flow of the connection between the segments, and then you have to make sure you put all those big questions into small steps. And that also relates me to another thoughts that we did not discuss in the class, but it's really a good example that Elon Musk, he always mentioned this first principle thinking, and the core of that is um, to ask the vital or the most important question. So either we like the traditional way is that we ask the question like how do we optimize the process or how do we make the process even more efficient. But in first principle thinking or like system thinking, the way we ask question is that do we actually need this process, is this process even necessary? And by asking those basic questions we realize that we actually can turn over a lot of traditional ways that we're doing things for like probably decades, and that's how he made Tesla car so intelligent and so like cheap. And also he actually used stainless steel as a material to create to build the spacecraft. And I believe we all remember that all the material that relates to spacecraft can always be those high tech materials or those high cost materials. So Elon Musk just by like just solve those problems and turn over the whole thinking process, traditional thinking process, simply by asking those simple questions. And I believe that's how we can uh, use those thoughts and frameworks in our like daily company norms and our even in our personal lives. And those frameworks really promote innovative problem solving, and application of these theories can really enhance organizational problem solving capacity. And that's my first thoughts on this topic.
Yeah, I agree with you. And Elon Musk is a great example because he used the philosophy, he used his philosophy and changed the whole process. And I think he opened a door to a new world because in the past we cannot imagine we can use such a cheap material to make such a high technology thing. And and I think that's a good example uh, for the creativity and problem solving and thinking. And what I learned from the textbook, um, there are four steps there are four steps of the problem solving process. The first step is identify the problem. The second one is generate the ideas, and the third one is analyze, and the fourth one is implement the solution. And for the first one, we need to clear understand what the problem is, and it just what we talk about as an example of Elon Musk, because he always put up a clear topic what we need to do and how to and the second step is how to make it happen. Um, the next step is come up with a bunch of different ideas how to resolve this problem. Use the divergent thinking, and the team must suggest a wide range of ideas like using cheaper materials. And the next step is analyze after generating all those good ideas, it's time to switch to convergent thinking. Team team look at what ideas are actually feasible. They might realize using cheap materials, but it could cost low quality, um, and there's a lot of things to think about and to analyze and then choose the right answer. And the fourth step is implement the solution. What the best idea is chosen, the company can make a plan to implement it. And just like SpaceX, and that's also the good example because I have been watched it's already five times test, and from the beginning there's a big failure, but right now they can catch up catch up uh, the, the the rocket with two chopsticks, and that's amazing. And that's a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
example. That's a good example of this theories in that's a good example of these theories in our class.
Yeah, yeah. I also add on that not only like his framework and his thoughts not only helped on the technology development, but also like enterprise cultural environment that besides the SpaceX and Tesla, he bought X, right, Twitter, and changed it to X and laid off a lot of employees. Well, it was harsh, but he definitely used the thoughts that first principle thinking that do we actually need those that like that many employees, and do we have to even like spend millions of dollars on cafeterias in the company? And he definitely like laid off all those employees and cut the cafeteria costs by millions. And apparently, X is doing pretty well now, and the company is still living, and the core employees are still working. And he definitely cut a lot of like unnecessary workforce, and that's how he used this framework throughout his whole life, like no matter in what in like tech development or culture, like company's cultural environment development. So this is really creative and a really huge change management that he did. So that's definitely what we can learn from him and relate to this class, the change management. So yeah,
Yeah,
uh, guess we both really like Elon Musk, and
yeah,
he is
yeah,
a
of
really
course.
good, yeah,
Yeah,
good
yeah,
example.
yeah.
And do you think we can like proceed to the next?
Next one, the topic
Yeah, sure.
4, the
Or
benefits of
uh,
the benefits
uh
of developing various perspective to problem solving.
yeah, I can start with that. I when I see the topic at first, it reminds me the article that we learned from like elementary school in China. I don't know like if they learn this in United States, but basically it's saying that the teacher asking the whole class draw a paint about a fruit that's on the desk, and um, all the students are paint the same shape like a football, like a olive, and there's only one a student who draw a star shape paint, and everyone was laughing at him, and only the teacher stopped the class and tell like everyone to see or to watch the fruit on the angle of that from the student who draw the star shape. And turns out that the fruit it's called do you
Uh,
know
s- uh,
the do you know
star
what's the
fruit, star fruit. I
yeah,
just
the
checked.
star fruit. So yeah, it just looked like that like most of students from the front angle, they just look like they only can see a shape of like a football, like a American football. But if you watch the fruit on the side angle, it's definitely a star shape. So it is really important for not only students, kids, but also the managers and employees in the company to understand that if others have different perspectives, it's definitely because of like there must be a reason, and we have to respect all the different voices and embrace all the different perspectives and think about the reasons behind them, and then find out the best solution that respects all the different standpoints, because that definitely relates to their cultural or educational backgrounds. And to say that is that I believe embracing the different and uh, embracing different cultural backgrounds and different standpoints can help the team or the company to avoid any blind spots, not only just to be like equal or like ethical to everyone, but it is really important for company's development, because you can um avoid all the blind spots, and you can like solve the problem really in a high efficient way. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's my thoughts.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I also remember the class I learned when I was a kid, and that's a really
Yeah.
important class for my life because at very young age, and I know from different places you can see the same thing in different ways, and so don't judge others, and you need to have a whole picture before you can make the decision. So according to our textbook, and the writer told me when you bring together people from different area, different company, you can get a broader range of ideas and insight, and that make problem solving more effective. And I also have an example of Toyota. Toyota use input from both factory workers and the management when they develop their new environment when they develop their new inventory system. And this approach cut down production waste by 30% and made their whole manufacture process more efficient. And as I worked in logistic industry, and I also have a lot of example, uh, a lot of similar example, because um, for the same thing, the management and the frontline workers, they they have different ideas, because for the management, maybe they don't have too much hands-on experience. Uh, they they focus on the business part. They focus on how to how to get more orders. But from the other side, the frontline workers, they can see more detailed things. Which part we waste money, which part we can get more profit. So we need to combine them together to balance the pros and the cons, and then in this way we can find a better solution. Other than the otherwise, if we only follow the management idea, maybe we are going to the wrong way. Maybe that's a good idea, but we cannot put that plan in we cannot put that plan into the real work. So I think it's really important uh, to to uh, to develop various perspective to problem solving, and it prevents tunnel vision and encourage uh, a more diverse approach to finding the solutions. That's my
Yeah,
2 cents.
yeah, totally agree. Because it is really important to like not only like embrace others' perspectives, but also that shows the teamwork and collaboration, which can help the problem solving. So yeah, totally agree. And for the next one, we want to evaluate ethical considerations of change management. And I can start with that with like as I mentioned in topic two, that find out the balance between creative and rational process. Um, I mean, on this topic, we can like also find out the balance between creative and rational process on a different angle, just as like we mentioned on the last topic that we see things different in different angles. And for this topic, we see it in angles that we're from China, and a lot of companies in China have like employees who are Chinese who has like same cultural backgrounds, same educational experiences. So this might not be that big a problem, but in United States, it's really like a melting pot, as I said, as I mentioned, a melting pot of culture, of races, and a lot of like people from all over the world come here to chase their dreams. So they have totally different beliefs, culture, or like grown up experiences, grow up environment, and totally different. So um, if we do not consider all those factors when we are trying to like be creative or like change management, we will definitely be there will definitely be like a disrespectfulness, discriminations, and other huge problems that may cause unsatisfaction by all those employees. So we have to consider all those stakeholders, and especially their backgrounds, their culture, their beliefs, to make sure our change management or our initiatives is like going fluently and highly efficient.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, because that's the reason why I came to the US, because there's a diverse that that's a country of diversity. There's a with a lot of different cultures. We have people here in different backgrounds, come from different countries, and we chase the dream here together. And the first class I learned well, after I came to the US is respecting different cultures uh, and uh, don't judge the things you are not familiar with. You need to learn from others, and you can also teach others what they are not familiar with, and and that's a good part of part of communication with different people with people in different backgrounds. And about this topic, I want to add three key factors um, about the ethical consideration. And the first one is transparency. I think that's very important because employees should know why the change is happening and how it will impact them. If a company had the real reasons for a change or keep people in the dark, it creates anxiety and mistrust. Being open about the goal and the consequence of the change, and it helps people feel more comfortable with it. And I have seen too many same examples because the company had something to their employees, and the employee lost the trust to the company, and they cannot work efficiently. Some of them they were looking for a new job, and some of them they cannot focus on their work, and that's a disaster. That's a disaster to the daily work. And the second factor, the second key factor, I think, is fairness, because because the change such as layoff, and it's very hard to employees if the decisions seem unfair to different employees, and if some employees are being treated better than others, it can cause a lot of pushback from the employees. And the last one, I think, is respecting stakeholders, and not only the employees, not only the management, other groups like customers, suppliers, and even the community. The community can be affected by a change. Ethical consideration means thinking about how the change impact all of the group and trying to minimize any negative effects. And I think here's a good example, uh, and and we can compare this example to Elon Musk's acquisition of Twitter. This example is Microsoft acquisition of LinkedIn.
Mhm.
Microsoft handled the acquisition with a lot of transparency and respect for current employee and the culture, and they didn't force them to do anything. And as a result, the they have a 97% of retention, or 90% of 90% of employee retention. I think that's an interesting fact compared to the Twitter. So I'm not judging them here, which are good, which are bad, but from from different places we can uh, we can see the same thing differently, and I think that's also a lesson we learned from this class. That's like the topic for.
Yeah, that was really a good point. And you just remind me that it is really unethical that you've been like not transparent and you don't to your employees, and you will never like earn trust from them, and that'll cause a huge problem. And that'll be like a lot of like challenges and obstacles when you are trying to push out a new change initiatives, because you don't even know what your employees are thinking, because you don't give them transparency, and you will never get feedbacks from them because there's no trust. So yeah, really nice point.
Yeah.
And
I think
yeah.
for this topic, I only think about the example of Elon Musk acquisition of Twitter, even
Mhm.
though he lay off a lot of people, but I think he still followed the principles here, because for the transparency and the fairness, I think he did that. he did things right in a transparent way, and
Yeah, exactly.
he treat the employee fair because if you are if you didn't create enough uh, margin for the company, so that means
Yeah,
you
yeah,
contribute
actually,
less to, yeah, you contribute less, and that's the reason why you get laid off.
yeah, you're right, you're right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because yeah, that reminds me that he actually did send out the early notice to to all the employees that I'm
Oh
going
yeah,
to lay off many of you, so be prepared. So that's definitely a really high level of transparency instead of like surprise them and just fire them. And also he gave out the reason why he's doing this because he believed there's a lot of like waste of the money on the cost, especially on the cafeterias. Like there's really Twitter was spending like millions on employees' foods, and a lot of employees are like very unnecessary workforce from the perspective of Elon Musk. So he's been really transparent, and he gave out all the reasons.
yeah.
So those who being laid off definitely will not be happy with it, but those who stays will be more loyal to the company because they feel the transparency and they feel the trust from the higher manager from Elon Musk. So they will give trust to Elon too. So it's a two way road, and that was
Oh
really
yeah,
yeah
yes. And
a really good example.
yeah, as for the second point, the fairness, I think he treat all the employees very fair because I heard a lot of news when some big company when they lay off their employees, most of them they are entry level, maybe or maybe mid level. Most of
Uh-huh.
the management they earn much more money than others, but they can still stay at their position. But in the example of Twitter, it didn't happen no matter how high level you were in, but if you cannot do the right thing, you have to you have to go. I think that's a good example of the fairness as well.
Yeah, yeah, totally
Uh,
agree.
yeah. So
Yeah,
let's move to the sixth topic.
yeah, that's the last one. So summarize and assess the methods of evaluation for producing ideas. So do you want to start with this one, or I can
Uh,
start?
oh yeah, I can start with this one. So for the method of evaluation, I remember I remember a good method that's called SWOT analysis. I think we can learn that from too many different courses. The SWOT means strength, weakness,
Yeah,
opportunity, and
SWOT.
the threats, and that's a good way to evaluate ideas. So so it, as we said, balance the pros and the cons, and that's give us a more give us a more practical way to evaluate different ideas. I I think that's a good thing we learned from the class as well. And I also remember a professor from my previous school. Uh, he often he liked to say, put it all together." I think that's a good example. Um, when we evaluate something, we need to put everything together to have a whole picture and then make, make the decision. And what do you think about this?
Yeah, so it is really important to evaluate all the ideas and the effectiveness of the ideas. And for the tools and methods, I'm thinking about like feedback loops, performance metrics, regular reviews, and also the frameworks we mentioned in the earlier discussion that system thinking, first principle thinking, and also the design thinking. But the most important thing for me is that we should not only use like one or two or three and separately in the company. We have to use all those methods, all those frameworks together and put them in as a combo. And we have to use them like each method can be related and connect as what system thinking is talking about. That you have to find the flow in between those methods and frameworks and find, and that's the only way you can increase the efficiency. And one example I can think of is that uh just relate to the last topic we mentioned that first of all you have to be really transparency to the employees, hence then you get trust from the employees. And at this time we use the method like feedback loops, regular reviews, so we get feedbacks from the employees and or anyone in the company, like how do you think about our recent initiatives, or how do you think about our recent change management, and how our recent like creativities. And because you've already earned trust from the employees by being transparent to them, so they will give you the true thoughts. They don't fear you, they don't think you're harsh, so they are willing to open their mind, open their heart to you and tell you the truth even. And they're there to like tell you directly, I don't like the initiatives, I even hate the initiatives, but all those feedbacks are really true. And as the higher manager you can understand like how that's why like, oh, you see a lot of employees are, they really don't like the initiative, that, and then that's why you have all those challenges and obstacles. So you talk and discuss and then find out, or set up a new model, or like a fine-tuned upgraded model, and then you test the model, and then you implement again, and you do this the whole process again and again and again. And because you're being fully transparent, so you can be like at 100% efficiency. You collaborate with your teammates, your coworkers, your employees, your managers, 100% efficiency. And those is what I'm meant by flow. That you use all those um methods and frameworks to create this a positive flow in between, and make the effect of those initiatives more efficient. So that's what I think about all those methods we learn, because we learn them like separately and like one by one, but we definitely have to like put them together as a combo, and to do every step in a good way to make sure the positive loop is like getting bigger and bigger. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I agree with you. Just as you said, the feedback loop. I think the feedback is really important in the change management, because in this class we learned a lot of things on change management. But the feedback is really important, because if you cannot get the the correct feedback, maybe we are going to the wrong way. And that's why the transparency is very important, because if you cannot be transparent, maybe all the feedback are wrong. Maybe they cannot they cannot tell the truth to you. So I think I totally agree with you about the uh, that we need to see that we need to see all the different factors, all the different steps. We need to think about them all together, uh, and utilize the things we learned from this class in our daily life and daily work.
yeah, totally agree. So yeah, I think that's pretty much what we have to discuss tonight. And yeah, really thank you and good luck on your
Thank you.
paper.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good luck.
thanks.
Good luck. See you.